Alright everyone, welcome to part 2 ng Index Stocks Review natin. Pasensya na kayo, hindi ako nakapag-upload ng video yesterday. Wala kasi kaming internet kahapon eh. So, na-delay tayo ng konti, but what I'll do is I'll upload 2 videos today para mabawi ko yun, no? So, let's get started. Today we'll be starting off with TEL. Alright? Etong TEL, after nga natin mauntog dito sa supply zone na to, what has happened is we broke beneath yung support at 1885, came back and tested it dito sa candle na to. Then essentially from there, we just started rolling over. And right now, bumalik tayo sa support dito at around 1,675. So what can we anticipate from here? Number one, yes, pwede pa rin, may potential, may maliit pa rin na gap na unfilled. Maybe we can move up, hit that. Pero nagawa na ng price yung up, hit dito sa previous area of support, then rolled over, no? Ang hindi pa lang nangyayari is mag-form ng new low. So what I'm anticipating is sooner rather than later, baka mabasag tong 1675 and we form a new low. And then from there, yung next level of support natin will be at 1585. Pag nabasag pa rin yon, 1545. Pero as I mentioned nga before, I look at this as more of an support area rather than parang individual levels of support, no? Kasi ang lapit ng nila 40 pesos lang yung agwat para sa ganitong presyong stock, di ba? So I would rather look at it in terms of an area para lang mas mapadali ng konti yung buhay ko. Alright? Kung kunwari from there, mabasag pa yan, feeling ko, at the very least, mababalikan natin tong yellow line na to at 1465. And then from there, we can start looking kung ano ba yung mga pwede nating antabayanan next. Will we come back and revisit tong mga lows na to? Or perhaps even come back dito sa mga areas of previous resistance prior to the breakout? Bago tayo makahanap ng some type of reaction na gusto natin, no? Kasi as is, where we are right now, as we discussed before, PLDT, nasa malaking range eh. Diba? Bumalik lang tayo do sa bottom end ng range. Kung mabasag yan, that just shows na talagang hindi pa tayo ready umangat and we're just gonna push lower. Pagka ganon, maghihintay talaga tayo na ma-develop yung bagong area na yon before we can start saying na, okay, sige, pwede na yan, meron nang nabuo, pwede ko nang i-trade to, and so on and so forth, no? Kasi nga, kapag ka isa, dalawa, tatlong candle, 9 times out of 10, wala naman tayong mababasa from those eh. Alright? So, kung kunwari naman from here, let's say this area holds and we reclaim tong 1,810, then there's a chance na mabalikan natin yung high end ng range na to sa 1885. And if we can break 1885, ang tanong is, this time around, kaya na ba nating basagin tong area of supply na to, tong purple zone natin? Kung mabasag tong area of supply, which comes from this area of consolidation right here, no? Sorry, right there. So kung mabasag yan, that really opens up the chart. Baka mapwede na nating mabalikan yung 2360 to 2430 na area of resistance and so on, no? Baka ma-fill pa natin tong gap from all the way back then. Pero until then, okay, until mabasag yung area of supply na yan, I would be wary kahit na sa mga bagong 52-week highs. If only because alam natin saan siya nauuntog eh. Alam natin na yung area na yon, dahil previous area of consolidation siya, malamang marami na mili doon before. So mga iba doon, baka hindi nag-average down or baka talagang hinawakan lang, gusto lang makalabas ng buhay. What they'll do is, if price gets to where they are, tatry na nila lumabas. So syempre, magkakaroon tayo ng selling pressure, mas may hirapan umangat yung price. Alright? So just something to watch out for lang dito sa TEL. Now, for me, kung kunwari mabasag to, tuloy-tuloy at mabalikan nga natin tong mga areas of previous resistance na to, something interesting could develop from there. Pero ayaw kong sobrang mauna. Medyo maaga-aga pa, medyo malayo-layo pa tayo. So I would rather wait for mas malapit na doon before we discuss it kasi ang dami pang pwedeng mangyari between where we are now to where price could go kung sakali mang bumaba pa siya. Next, tignan naman po natin yung JGS, no? Now, tong JGS, kung papansinin nyo, it came from this very wide triangle na matagal din naglast, diba? Parang price was consolidating in a tighter and tighter range within these pink lines until eventually we broke down from it dito sa candle na to, no? Now, I'm doing this because we haven't looked at JGS in a while. We broke down from this candle here, and where did we come back up? We broke down, came back, tested yung same trend line kung saan tayo nabasag, and then from there, we continued pushing lower. Diba? Nagkaroon ng brief consolidation, range within this area, then we broke down. So ngayon, parang nag-i-stair step tayo pababa. In fact, nagkaroon tayo ng numerous attempts, if we zoom in, to break beneath this level of support sa 47.9, pero so far, hindi pa tayo nag-close beneath it. Kaya hindi ko pa ina-adjust yung levels ko, no? But as we can see, saan ba tumatama yung high end ng range? Hindi ba dito din where there was previous support? So, previous support turned resistance at dyan tayo ngayon nauuntog. Now, ano yung mga pwede nating i-anticipate na scenarios dito sa JGS? If we can get a break to the upside, dapat ba ibig sabihin bullish na tayo? For me, hindi pa, no? Kasi kung mag-break man tayo sa taas ng range na to, bumabalik lang tayo into all of this chop here. And as you can see, very, very messy siya. So I wouldn't be a big fan of trading into that. Maybe if we can push higher from there, if we can go above 55, balikan natin tong range na to from before, then maybe. Yes, choppy din siya dyan, pero mas merong galaw, mas merong puwang kung baga. As compared dito na very, very choppy talaga, very tight tignan, no? Now, kung sakali naman na hindi talaga mag-hold tong 47.9, the next level of support that we'll be looking at will be 42.4 na. Medyo may kalayuan. So kung mabasag altogether tong 47, 48 na area, then it wouldn't surprise me if price just came down here and tagged tong 42.4 next. And kung mabasag yun, then baka mabalikan natin yung pandemic low natin at 26.75. All that being said, do I anticipate na babalik tayo sa pandemic low? Honestly, no. Medyo malayo siya. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me in the sense na hindi na ako nagugulat sa karamihan ng ginagawa ng merkado eh. Diba? I let it do whatever it wants. But do I think na realistic that we pull all the way back there? Maybe not, no? Maybe siguro mid-30s, mga ganon, 36, 37, 35, mga ganong area. And then we can study again from there kung ano itsura. Kung talagang pangit pa rin yung itsura, then perhaps it's heading nga towards itong pandemic low natin. Pero kung kunwari nakakita na tayo doon ng bullish structure, ng paglalaban ng mga buyers over yung mga sellers, then perhaps that's a sign na nakahanap na tayo ng some type of support, and maybe at the very least, we see some type of bounce from there. But where we are right now, kitang-kita nyo naman, stair-step lang tayo talaga pababa. So medyo iwas-iwas po muna tayo dito sa JGS. Next, tignan naman po natin tong Monde, no? Now, Monde has gone back to yung previous low niya at 12.68. And the reason why I haven't moved my level down is we haven't actually gotten a close beneath that previous low, no? So kung mabasag natin yon, let's say anywhere from 12.5 to 12.7 na area, then obviously we'll be on new time lows, diba? At new all-time lows, sorry. And magkakaroon na naman tayo ng matagal na hintay from there kasi panibagong price exploration na naman siya. We need to see what type of structure develops from there before we start anticipating on what scenarios we can potentially look out for para matrade natin ulit yung Monde. Yan yung mahirap kapag nag-all-time low eh. Kapag kunwari nag-all-time high, ganun din naman pero in reverse, di ba? Parang tuwang-tuwa yung mga tao because it's just moving higher as price tries to find some type of equilibrium within the market, makahanap ng balance. Ganun din kapag nag-all-time low. Kaya usually it takes some time, no? Now, ano pa yung mga pwede nating anticipate na potential scenarios dito? If we can come back up and break above tong 13.7, maybe we can trade within this range here between 13.7 to 14.4. Now, I understand that 14.4 may not look like the greatest of levels. However, etong low dito na nag-act na support dito, kung papansinin natin, nadadaanan talaga siya eh. Resistance dito, support dito, resistance dito, support dyan, di ba? So parang nakikita ko na nadadaanan talaga at nag-hold talaga, meaning nakakahanap talaga tayo ng some type of reaction around 14.4 to 14.5. So kung sakali man na maging range tradable to on a break to the upside ng 13.7, I wouldn't look too far beyond the next level muna kasi overall naka-downtrend pa rin naman tayo eh. 'Diba? Structurally speaking, we are forming lower highs and lower lows, 'diba? High, low, lower high, 'diba? Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So patuloy pa rin naman Wala naman pong nagbago doon sa structure niya. Okay, so I would be very careful to trade it na iisipin ko lang lagi is hindi kasi kapag from here dapat lilipad na yan ng 30. 'Diba? Parang mas mahirap mag-look out for ganong type of scenarios kapag ganito kapangit yung market conditions. Hindi bale sana kung kunwari maganda yung market conditions, tapos nataon lang na laggard, tapos value play siya. So we can try to anticipate for a higher target, no? Pero in this particular instance, because of the current market conditions, we need to be more wary and mas mabilis yung in and out natin sa merkado, lalo na kung hindi naman tayo pure na investors, lalo na kung traders tayo. Okay? Now, kung sabihin natin mabasag yung 14.42, then that opens up this range here between 14.42 to 15.5. And if 15.5, ang next level of resistance natin will be at 16.68. Next, tignan naman po natin yung Ayala Corporation or ang AC, no? Now, AC, nag-i-stair-step din siya pababa. So, essentially, konso, baba, di ba? Konso, baba, konso, baba, konso, baba, di ba? So it has been stair-stepping to the downside for quite some time now, ever since mga start of this year, more or less, okay? So where we are right now, makikita natin the way that price has reacted is, again, parang medyo paint by numbers lang, di ba? Yung previous na levels of support natin, nagda-act as resistance along the way. So once we broke beneath this level of support, ganun din, we tested it from above, tapos before we know it, nabasag na naman natin yung next level of support here at 612. Now, I wanted to start zoomed out because I wanted to show you this area of demand na upcoming dito sa AC. And that's around mga 550 to 580, no? Now, I'm not saying na mag-hold yung area na yan. I'm just saying na it's one of the first areas I would look for price to potentially react from para maakuha ng maybe some type of bounce trade or range trade or something like that. Okay? Pero, it doesn't mean na mag-hold siya. Kailangan pa rin, lalo na given the current market conditions, makakita muna tayo ng corresponding confirmatory structure before we jump in. Alright? Now, from here, pagka kunwari nabasag yung white zone na yan, yung next level of support natin will be 539. And if 539 breaks, baka balikan natin tong low na to or even all the way dito sa pandemic lows. Kung to the upside naman, let's say na mabasag tayo, we break 651. Okay, baka maging range tradable yung 651 to 709. Medyo decent range din naman yun. But again, we need to understand na ang choppy talaga, hindi talaga maganda yung itsura ng chart from here. So kung ganun din lang, maybe it's better kung let's see kung magpo-form siya ng inverse head and shoulders from here, and then let's just try to trade a break to the upside above 700. Diba? Maybe we can trade above 700, targeting around 760 or 770 next, followed by mga 820, 830, no? So basically, ito mga upside na levels na to. So, pagka ganon, baka maging mas madali siyang i-trade, not because merong textbook structure, but because meron lang mas madaling paraan para mag-formulate ng trade idea natin moving forward. Kasi right now, what exactly are we formulating? Trading the range? Sure. But you need to make sure din na pasok siya sa setup nyo, na meron siyang trigger sa kung anumang sistema ang ginagamit ninyo. Kung wala, then you step aside, no? Again, for me, I would rather see something more clear dito sa AC kasi to begin with, yung chart niya hindi naman ganun aganda aesthetically speaking, no? Parang very barcode din yung itsura. Not as bad as Mer, but parang medyo ganun din yung itsura. It's not the best. So, it's harder to look for key levels that we can anticipate price reacting off. Tapos, magbibigay din siya ng magandang risk-reward. Kasi nga, hindi ganun aganda yung itsura ng chart niya to begin with. So again, I would rather wait na, okay, may confirmation tayo, kahit na mas late ako ng konti makapasok, pero kung ang maging kapalit naman nun ay mas maliit yung chance or yung odds na matalo tayo sa trade, or mas maganda yung maging potential na risk-reward para sa atin, I would rather wait for that rather than forcing a trade right now. Pero syempre, kung meron naman kayong inaabangang value area nitong Ayala, I mean, at the end of the day, Ayala pa rin yan eh. Then by all means, go for it, no? Kung kunwari inaabangan nyo siya ng 600, 500, what have you, tapos meron naman kayong magandang dahilan kung bakit nyo siya inaabangan doon, then don't let me stop you. Don't let anyone stop you. Plano nyo yan eh. Diba? Go ahead, execute with confidence kasi I'm sure pinag-isipan nyo ng mabuti yan at meron kayong magandang dahilan bakit nyo gustong gawin lahat yun. And then finally, tingnan po natin yung LTG. Now honestly, sa LTG, wala po ganong nagbago since sinabas natin yung multi-time frame analysis video natin on this. So if you want a more in-depth analysis of LTG, you can find the link to the multi-time frame analysis video ng LTG in the description box below. Okay? It will be a lot more in-depth than what we discussed today. Now, etong LTG, essentially, we are trading within this range between 8 pesos and 8.50, more or less. Alright? Naglalaro lang tayo sa range na to. Nagkaroon tayo ng overshoot dito but we quickly came back and stayed within this range once again. So, from here, ano yung mga pwede nating ma-anticipate? If mabasag ulit tong 8.5, personally, I wouldn't be super confident. Why? Kasi syempre, alam ko, naghihintay itong mga lows from before na pwedeng pag-untugan ng price, which is in fact kung saan nauntog yung overshoot na naganap dito. After niya mauntog, we gap down and we stayed down. So I would be wary of something similar to that happening once again. So para sa akin, mas malinis kung makita ko na lang na mabasag niya tong 9.11. From there, we can say na, maybe nagbuo siya ng some type of inverse head and shoulders pattern and maybe pwede natin yung gamitin as a potential foundation for a future trade idea. No? Now, kung mabasag man tong 9.11, meron pa tayong area of resistance here between 9.54 to 9.75. Yan talaga yung mahirap kapag matagal lang pababa yung stock. Ang dami na niyang pwedeng pag-untugan na levels. Once this breaks, the next level of resistance will be at 10.26, followed by 11.3. Now, kung mabasag naman to the downside, okay, kung napapansin nyo, I marked out a yellow line here. And the reason for that is I'm personally looking for a potential bounce trade kung umabot tayo dyan. Does it mean na kapag umabot dyan, auto-buy agad? Of course not. Like I say in all my other analysis, I would prefer to wait for confirmatory structure before jumping in, even if that means na mas limited yung potential gains ko. Bakit? Kasi nga, hindi maganda yung market conditions. If market conditions were good, then I would be a lot more aggressive. Diba? Kailangan alam natin kailan tayo titira, kailan hindi, diba? Parang sa basketball lang yan. Kapag may bumabantay sa'yo, naubod ng laki, malamang hindi magandang tumira harap-harapan, diba? Kasi malamang mabubutata ka. Yes, may chance makachamba, malusutan mo yung kamay niya, at ma-shoot yung bola kahit di mo nakikita yung ring. Ganon din naman sa trading eh. Kahit na hindi maganda yung odds, may chamba. Pwedeng maging aggressive ka at makashoot ka, makachamba, manalo. Pero for me, kapag hindi maganda yung conditions, I would rather pass the ball. Diba? Same with trading. Pasa muna, hintayin natin. Let's take what the defense gives us. Hintayin natin kung ano yung mabuo before we start anticipating any type of trades, no? So if it comes down here sa yellow, tapos kunyari makakuha tayo ng bullish structure, something like that, then maybe we can use that to trade quickly lang pabalik ng mga 8 pesos, 8.10, more or less, no? Pero kung kunwari, bumulusok lang yung price, basagin niya tong yellow agad, then the next level of real support will be at 7.11 na. And if that breaks, baka balikan na natin yung pandemic low natin dito around 5.5, no? So, wag naman sana kasi alam ko marami ring naipit dito sa LTG. But right now, wala tayong magagawa dito kung hindi maghintay. Buying where we are, yes, you could trade the range, but is this tiny range actually all that appealing para sa inyo? If it is, then of course, 'di ba? Syempre nasa sa inyo naman 'yan. Pera niyo 'yan eh, choice niyo 'yan. Yeah, pero for me, again, the risk reward isn't all that great, and I would rather wait for something more solid to develop dito sa LTG before jumping in. Okay? Kung kunwari nagko-cost averaging kayo. So I often get this question when it comes to LTG kasi nga maraming namili sa area na to, no? Tapos kung hindi man dyan, maybe here on the way down, anticipating na magbabounce na tayo. Or maybe here. So marami nagtatanong, pwede ko pa i-cost average? Pwede ko pa i-cost average? Ang sinasagot ko lagi, nasa sa inyo yan. Kung kunwari, gusto nyo talagang mag-cost average, there's nothing I can say that will change your mind. Honestly. Sasabihin nyo lang, kahit anong sabihin ko, sasabihin nyo lang, hindi, tanga ka lang, bobo ka. Hindi mo naintindihan yung concept. That's the way people are. So hindi ko na inaaway, hindi ko na linalabanan. Kung gusto nyo mag-cost average, go ahead. But at the very least, wait for some signs na meron na tayong reversal or something positive na nangyayari before you start averaging. At the very least, yung dinadagdag nyong pera, may dahilan kung bakit nyo dinadagdag outside of trying to catch up to price, which hindi naman talaga natin alam hanggang saan siya aabot. So guys, dito po nagtatapos yung video natin, no? I hope nakatulong po to sa inyo kahit konti and may natutunan kayo kahit papano. And if so, I would really appreciate it if you give this video a like and consider subscribing to my channel. And as always guys, maraming salamat po sa panonood. I really appreciate it. Good luck and happy trading!